We had a great meeting this morning. We're going to be working together to win the seat. Trump and his party need to take the hint or take a hike. Democrats have been clear from the start. We want to fund the government, avoid a shutdown, and pass strong bipartisan appropriation bills that improve people's lives. Thank you for Senator Murray for joining us today. Now look, the Trump presidency is just a disaster. There's no other way to put it. Look at the numbers. 72% disapprove of his war on Iran. 79% disapprove of what he's done on gas prices. 73% says he has the wrong priorities. And the number of Americans who believe that Trump hasn't done enough to bring down costs has reached 71%. Trump has completely lost the trust of the American people. When the overwhelming majority of Americans say you're taking the country in the wrong direction, you better change course or prepare to lose the election. Trump and his party need to take the hint or take a hike come November. On Iran and the war, let's touch on his unpopular, failed, and disastrous war. Trump's busy twiddling his thumbs without any plan for how to end this reckless war, while our service members are facing down barrage after barrage of Iranian missiles, of Iranian drones. Trump is more concerned about protecting himself from the repercussions of his failed war in Iran than protecting our troops who are in harm's way. As we promised, we're going to make them vote and vote and vote. We will soon force another vote on our War Powers resolution to end this aimless war and bring our troops home. Every second Trump prolongs the war, our service members' lives are at risk. Senate Republicans, stand up for our troops, not for the president who sent him into war without a plan, without a mission. And finally, on government funding, where Patty will speak. Democrats have been clear from the start. We want to fund the government, avoid a shutdown, and pass strong bipartisan appropriation bills that improve people's lives. Bipartisan negotiations are ongoing. Senate Democrats are working in good faith to reach an agreement and keep the appropriations process moving forward. We're fighting for a bipartisan funding package, not partisan bills, that bankroll Trump's war while leaving working peoples behind. Any CR must be bipartisan. It must keep the government open without abandoning the needs of working families or give Trump a blank check for his terrible agenda. There is a responsible path forward. Senate Democrats, led by Patty, are ready to take it, but Republicans must meet us in the middle.
Well, let's talk about priorities for this year, because Trump certainly has told us what his are. A $1.5 trillion war budget. That is nearly a $0.5 trillion increase. For families here at home, for things like housing and child care, a 10% cut. Well, apparently $1.5 trillion isn't enough, because last week Pete Hegseth came back demanding $70 billion for a war that is spiraling out of control and driving gas prices through the roof. Couldn't tell us how the war would end, just that he wanted more money for it. No strategy, no endgame, no justification, and Trump has promised us a deal for months. Every time Trump says an end to the war he should have never started is around the corner, the bill for his forever war goes bigger. Just trust me is not a strategy, and it sure isn't worth $70 billion of taxpayer money. Congress is not an ATM for Trump's forever wars. Taxpayers do not want us to rubber stamp a blank check for Trump to drop bombs overseas while healthcare costs are sky high here at home. Republicans might choose war and defense contractors as their top funding priorities, but Democrats actually care about the families here at home. So instead of telling the president to kick rocks, Republicans in Congress have been pushing hard to give Trump everything he wants, a massive increase in war funding while families get left behind. Sorry, but no. I've worked in good faith to try and land a bipartisan top-line funding agreement to ensure that we do invest in our families, not defense contractors. But time and again, Republicans have made clear They cannot be where they have been for years on parity. The compromise that has guided many funding deals, which provides roughly equal defense increases for defense and non-defense. This time, Republicans want to deliver over $4 new in defense for every dollar in non-defense. And because of that, my Democratic colleagues and I have been clear we will not accept their top line and will instead continue to push for a fair, bipartisan top line like the ones we reached the last 3 years, which allowed us to draft and pass good bipartisan bills. As families are getting crushed by higher costs and as we are about to head over the infrastructure cliff October 1st, when roughly over $65 billion in critical annual funding from the bipartisan infrastructure law runs dry, we should be delivering major new investments to help our families get by, not supersizing Trump's war budget. Democrats are at the table. We are ready to write serious bipartisan bills that lower costs and keep this country safe. But we will not shortchange America's families to bankroll Donald Trump's forever war. Now, at this point, because of everything I just discussed, we will need more time to get our funding bills done. No one wants a shutdown in October, so I have been working with Chair Collins to prepare a CR that takes us into December, and we will fix the problems with the bill that the House Republicans drafted and passed last week. Good bipartisan work continues on that, and you can bet that as we work on annual funding for the year ahead, my Democratic colleagues and I are going to keep pushing to actually make life more affordable and to spend the America's and people's hard-earned tax dollars reinvesting in our families and communities across America instead of writing Trump a blank check to threaten war crimes halfway around the world.
Thank you, Patty, for your great work. Go ahead, New. Go ahead. No, not you. We had a great meeting this morning. We're going to be working together to win the seat, beat Susan Collins, and take back the Senate.
Leader Schumer.
Yes.
Schumer, the Democratic Socialists of America recently released their new platform. One of the things in that platform is to abolish the Senate and create a new unicameral House in Congress. Is this something Democratic Socialist candidates have been winning in races across the country? Is this something that has a place, this type of policy position?
The bottom line is Democrats from one end of the spectrum to the other are going to be working to defeat Trump, to bring down costs, to go after his corruption, and to end the chaos. Yes. I couldn't.
Republicans have been pulling out the stops to court Senator John Fetterman. How do you feel like he's done as a Democratic senator? Do you want him to stay on your subject?
Yes, and he is a very good member of Congress. The people in our caucus very much like him and respect him, and we're a big tent party. We can have a lot of different views in that party. Yes.
Now that Jay Clayton is confirmed.
Now that
Jay Clayton is confirmed, will Senate Democrats commit to reauthorizing Section 702 by now that Bill Pulte will be out?
Look, well, first we have to make sure Pulte is out, and second, many of us want to get 702 enacted, but it needs some reforms.
Leader Schumer.
Thank you.